Good evening and welcome to your Saturday's news package weekend report on the Nigerian Television Authority NTA ILORIN. I am Kehinde Omolosho. An outlook of tonight's package: scarcity of Naira notes bites other in ILORIN as Kwara State government provides palliative to cushion its effects. We have a review of some reports that made headlines during the week. And on our discussion segment, our focus tonight is the state of the nation and effects on the 2023 general elections, plus latest happenings in the world of entertainment and sports. All this and more shortly. Do stay tuned. Kwara State government has commended free transportation of students and staff of tertiary institutions in ILORIN, the Kwara State capital. This is part of the state government's palliative measures to cushion the effects of fuel scarcity and challenges of currency change in the country. Valiat Ibrahim has the report.
Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdrazak last week announced some palliative measures to cushion the effects of the stress faced by residents of the state due to the fuel situation and cash scarcity. These include cash transfer to widows, pensioners, transporters, marketmen and women, as well as free transportation for students in tertiary institutions in the state capital. The loading points for the free transportation program are Solidaro Park Post Office area for Kwara Polytechnic routes and Tanke Unilorin Road for the University of Ilorin. At the 2 points where the buses are loading, there are long orderly queues of students who are happy about the development.
It's really a good thing because we know the struggle we pass through in going to school every day and coming back home. So this will really add to limit our stress that we go through in going to school.
It's really gladdens our hearts, as students, and it also helps us save costs and now we can use the money to do other things.
These days there's no money, there's no cash. Some people, they are staying home because of this transport, because some of them, they don't get money. So and it's okay if they can continue doing these things.
Seeing buses coming in and out like this is actually very, very helpful, and if they can actually be doing this for us, we really appreciate it.
The state government says the program became necessary in view of the current situation.
So the complaints has been that they don't have money, they cannot get cash to get vehicles, and the vehicles are charging exorbitantly. So the government, in its own duty, felt they need to also give an extending hand to the communities.
The free transportation program is expected to continue till the situation gets better. Valiat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Following the delisting of 249 polling units across the country by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), 2023 general elections will now hold only in 2,886 polling units in Kwara State. Kwara State Resident Electoral Commissioner Garba Ataru Madami disclosed this during the chat with Abdulafiz Alaya on INEC's preparation for the forthcoming election.
As part of efforts to reduce the stress of voting on election days, the Independent National Electoral Commission in 2021 created additional 56,872 polling units, out of which Kwara got 1,015. However, the Commission on Monday, February 13th, delisted 240 out of the newly created units for not having registrants. But Kwara is least affected and lost only one polling unit to the exercise.
Out of the 2,887, we now have 2,886 that will be used for the election. So what it means is that that polling unit is in the ILORIN West, which means that ballot paper result sheets will not be taken there.
INEC, according to the Resident Electoral Commissioner Ataru Madami, is ready for the elections as training of about 11,000 presiding officers will commence this week.
The person operating the beavers, the person that will give ballot paper, the person that will pour the ink, and so on, those, and mainly of them, I think 90% of them will be coppers. So the training will take place Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then the collection officers' training is going to be 20th and 21.
He also spoke on the workings of beavers and the need to adhere to electoral laws before and during the elections.
If you are not accredited through the beavers, you cannot vote. The presiding officer will just tell you to move away. If you refuse to move away quietly, you use the police to move you away.
The REC added that the uncollected permanent voter cards will be returned to the Central Bank of Nigeria on a date to be announced later and in the presence of relevant stakeholders. Abdulhafiz Alaya, NTA News.
Residents of Ilorin, especially traders and motorcyclists, are lamenting the rejection of old Naira notes by banks and other outlets in Ilorin metropolis. Ahmad Fulani has a situation report on this development.
Those are traders at Mandate Market in Ilorin expressing their frustrations as a result of uncertainties surrounding the old Naira notes. Across section of traders, buyers and transporters who spoke to NTA News lamented the hardship they are going through, particularly since some people started rejecting the old notes. Bukola Fadipe, who says cosmetics is one of those still accepting the old notes, but may soon stop if she finds it difficult to deposit in banks.
The government should help us to print more notes because there is no this new note is not outside.
I gave him 200 Naira old notes, but he said no, that he's not going to collect it, that they did not collect it from him.
We have old money, so we're supposed to spend the old money to outside so that we can receive the new notes.
We hear that those lawyer people say you should be collecting it, but you Central Bank, we didn't hear anything from your mouth. Say something that we know what we do.
And legal practitioner Kamaldeen Gambari is of the opinion that no Nigerian has the right to reject the currency pending the vacation of interim order by the Supreme Court.
Every decision being taken by the CBN should be put in abeyance until February 15, which is the return date before the Supreme Court, to come and argue the motion on notice and objection, if any. As of now, either the old or the new, they are still legal tender, and anybody that is rejecting them is contemptuous of such fellow.
Nigerians are calling on the CBN and other key players in the banking sector to look for new methods of making cash available in the country in order to ease the suffering of the masses. Ahmad Fulani, NTA News.
Some residents in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, have taken to major roads in the metropolis to protest the scarcity of new Naira notes and refusal to extend deadline for the old Naira notes. Ahmad Fulani has a situation report.
Places like Gambari, Oloje, Adeta, Pakata, Ofagaraj, Girialimi and Korapoli roads were blocked by angry youths to protest the hardship they face as a result of scarcity of new Naira notes. While shops were shut by traders for fear of being looted, roads were scanty with few vehicles on the road. Tires were burned on the roads by the protesters, thereby creating fear in the minds of residents.
Some youth are protesting up there, so everywhere is being locked up. Even I even want to buy bread now, I'm unable to get something free because shops are being locked up.
Because the old money has expired. The federal government declared it counterfeit, and the new money is not available for people to spend. So they make life difficult to people. We need an urgent solution to this issue so that people can move here and there will be a clear transaction.
Meanwhile, the Kwara State Commissioner of Police, Paul Odama, says the command is on top of the situation with police tactical teams already dispatched to forestall further breakdown of public peace.
We have synergized with other sister security agencies. They are also on the road. The DSS, they are giving us information on areas where we are expecting problems, and all those places have been covered. I have also spoken to the area commander. I have called all the DPOs. They are on the streets, patrolling the area.
He advised parents and guardians to warn their children from being used as agents of thuggery, as police will not hesitate to prosecute any law offender. Ahmad Fulani, NTA News.
Weekend Report, we go on a break, and when we come back, it will be time for the discussion segment. Stay tuned.
Pain of war knows no tribe or religion. War engulfs everyone, rich or poor. Homes are destroyed, emptied by the darkness of war. During war, everybody loses, nobody wins. The innocent pays the price of our ego with their blood. They are badly affected by a decision they didn't make. Dialogue is the only way out. We are stronger together. We should never separate. We are one Nigeria. Our oneness, our strength, our beauty.
Every day, life presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
You're welcome to the discussion segment of Weekend Report. Our topic of discuss today is State of the Nation and Effects on the 2023 general elections. My guest is in the studio. He is Adeyanju Adeola, a fellow Chartered Public Administrator. You're welcome to the program.
Good evening, sir. I say good evening, every Nigerian.
All right, sir. President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday in a national broadcast gave an extension till April 10, 2023 for only the old 200 naira note to be legal tender in the country. How would you react to the president's pronouncement?
Actually, the president is the number one in Nigeria, and he is the president, chief executive, and one of his functions is to maintain law and order before the citizen. And with what is going on the redesigning of a note, if we recollect, some governors collectively have taken the case to Supreme Court, yes, of which we had an injunction, an interim injunction, yes, on the case. It will have been settled on that before that 15, but other governors joined the suit. About 6 governors joined the 3 governors of Kogi, Kaduna, and probably one other governor. Yeah. So by the time other governors now joined the shoot, there was another extension of the interim injunction, and probably we were expected that by 22 of this month, the Apex court ruling will come up. But because of the situation in the country, Mr. President came up and addressed the nation, whereby telling us that we should continue the spending of 200 naira, sorry, while 500 and a silent of 500 and 1,000, meaning that one is already in extinct. And to me personally, I believe we have organs of government, and each of the organs, the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary, there is a separation of power between them, their check and balance, and the rule of law have said this specifically, that the law is above everybody, including the president. You understand? And since we have an apex court who has given an interim injunction, it would have been better for the president, to serve the condition he gave on 200 naira note. The reason is this: the apex court said we should continue spending tentatively before the final judgment. Some governors told their inhabitants that they should continue the spending since the new naira is not forthcoming, probably from the commercial bank, both in the bank and ATM. And the little one we have could not circulate, and people were like, they were on that. If you go to filling station, they will tell you the POS is not working, they need cash. If you make some transaction, you'll be debited, it will not credit the person. A lot of things. You cannot even go to the bank to complain such. As a result of this, there are a lot of issues on it. So the expectation is that we should mellow down and support what the Apex Court have said. But the issue on ground now is that we have some people already that obey the injunction of the Apex Court, though they were minute compared to those people that refused to collect the money according to what the president said. You understand? Yes. But I believe when the Apex Court give their final judgment, I'm looking at it that actually they were the one that told us to continue with the spending of the denomination of 500 and 1,000? Are they going to make it on the final day of judgment that you Nigerians that obey my rule that you should continue the spending, you are on your own with that money? Because we still have some people that transact with 1,000 and 500 up to the moment. Only the categories of people were not as much as those people that obey what the president have said. So I've been expecting the president to even come up with another broadcast in order to mellow the tension, because presently now I heard from the news that in Benin Orero people were rampaging, and that is why we have to appeal to the populace. When a situation come up like this, you don't need to go on riot. You don't need to go and vandalize banks, institutions. The road that were made, infrastructure that were given to you, it is our own personal property. These people will not plight the road. And if you look at those people that even go to the ATM or what have you at the bank, invading the bank, chase out their money, it is that one is even more than, to me, it's more than somebody that is hungry. That one is an armed robber in a way. So I will have appealed to the populace. Actually, we are undergoing a serious situation, because if you look at the retiree, the whole people in the bank, honestly, you pity them. Go to the hospital, the sick people could not access funds. They have money in their account, they could not access funds to get the drug. I had a doctor friend that and information is passing around. I don't know how true is it, that they said that life expectancy and death rate has increased as a result of this in the hospital. He was in a very big hospital. The guy was so diplomatic, the doctor. He said actually at the beginning of the program with the redesigning, they were not collecting cash. I mean, they were not collecting transfer. Okay. You know, their machine has been programmed in a way in most of those hospitals that you have to pay through your cash, and so there wasn't they don't have a facility for that. But he now told me that though if we look at it, the stress is too much, and even some people that were placed on surgery, that he have to stand as a sortie for them in order to, how many of people can he do that for? So what he now said that actually the stress is too much. As a result of the stress, some people might have died along the road, but he doesn't have the statistic with him. But you see, he's very diplomatic, but notwithstanding, you and I, if we go through the time, you see what people are passing through. No, that is not a justification that people should, you know, vandalize property, you understand. And I want to appeal to the executive, both the governors and the higher executive and the presidency. They should just try to have a kind of perfect understanding within themselves, because now the governors were saying, because of what we are passing through, that the central government should mellow. And in another theory, people were like, the governors have an ulterior motive, is because most of those governors have the money they want to spend. That is another theory on its own. And from the presidency, we have been hearing the theory that to stop vote by buying of votes in this election, probably that is why they were of the objective that the issue of 1,500 should be abolished before election. Automatically, they believe if the situation continue by spending those money according to what the Apex Court said, their purpose will have been defeated, because it will be spent. And you can see some people now say that if the president is actually sincere enough, he will have, you know, bring out this policy in 2099 to demonstrate it before himself. And that is why you see the likes of Ganduje saying many things, everybody saying something. And if you look at Keyamo has even come out that he is not one of those people, as a son, that advised Mr. President. You know, people were looking at it from different angles. Why those people were looking at it from the economy and the hardship from the populace, the central government were looking at it that the masses will be the greater beneficiary of this policy at the end of the day if we pass. But what we are passing through now, and if you look at every public policy, there must be a kind of symbiotic benefit. As the government has seen the benefit now, according to what Mr. Emefiele said, that the naira is getting weight and our economy is becoming healthier, you have to look at the populace as well. What are we getting immediate, immediate reward that we are getting? That is why I'm looking at it that they should just try to mellow things and let us understand. He has said that he's going to roll out more of 200 naira notes, about 80 billion of 200 new notes. He's going to roll it to the, and if they even want to sample people's opinion, they will have look at the policy in the sense that presently they ask the commercial bank not to collect the whole note. Look at what is happening in the Apex Bank, across the federation, you have only one central bank in
now talking about the commercial banks not collecting the old 500 and 1,000 naira note, don't you think the Central Bank of Nigeria is usurping some of their functions?
No, it's part of function of central bank, because your mutilated note, the whole note during the normal time, you can take it to central bank personally yourself. So it's part of their function. They only decentralize the function to make it easier for the commercial bank to also perform such a function. But at this crucial moment, they were looking at the policy in relation to the environmental condition, that they don't want people to spend so amount up to election period. And you know, the contradiction in this policy is that if you look at IMF, World Bank, even the America were saying that the elongation should continue on how we are going to make an exchange, but the government is looking at the environmental factor, forgetting of the immediate benefit of the masses, what the masses are. And even if you look at it, they said they don't want to allow vote buying. I'm looking at it from my own angle, the way Amana people are hungry now. If it is 10,000 those governors want to use, so if it is real, they are buying vote like that, if it is 10,000 they want to use, at the end of the day, if somebody see 2,000 now, they can also do. That is why I'm appealing to the central government to just mellow things so that we will be at an equilibrium area.
All right, talking about vote buying, the election is just 8 days from today.
Actually.
Now, the present economic situation, don't you think it will have a great effect on the election?
Actually, it will in a way, but I want to still say something. I want to give kudos to INEC on that area, because they make a rational permutation and combination as far as this election is concerned. Number one, you are asking of the economy, but I want to tell you what the INEC have prepared enough to make everything. You know, we are using beavers.
Yes.
And they said the beavers is going to be handled by the core member.
Yes, they are undergoing training presently.
Yeah, meaning that they've given them a responsibility. And these people are new products that are coming to the labor market. They want to test run their ability to labor market in that area. And they want them to be focused and prepare their nation for good development in that area. Automatically, without beavers, even if somebody induce you in a way because of the economy bite, and we have been told that whatever BVN that anybody comes with, yes, you are going to do a double check. You're going to look at the manual check and take the PVC, yes, into the beavers. Yes. And you're going to cross-check, apart from the name and some other thing, whatever come out of the beavers, you relate it with the person that comes. Yes. So even if anybody bring out ordinary PVC, that doesn't belong to anybody, the facial recognition will not be there. So the economy activity is okay in that, but to the general populace, people are short of fund. They have to eat before going to the polling station.
What about transportation?
Of course, for those people that even are far, you understand. Even for somebody was saying it, a member of the House of Legislature, that they need about 70 million as a member of rep for logistic naira. That is why they met with Mr. President on how the fund will come out. You understand? Are you telling me somebody that have not eaten, you ask the person to come and vote and he has his PVC, and you told the person you're going to induce him in a way? That is why I'm looking at it, that if federal government want to formulate this policy, they will have maintained the system with many policy actors. You know, a policy that involves money like this, there are policy actors that are involved. Definitely. Number one, the judiciary, the executive, the legislature, the bureaucrats,
and even the security.
No, there are two categories of people. One is those people that I'm saying now, the executive, the legislator, the judiciary, the bureaucrat who have the record and knowledge of what is going on, and the civil society. Those are the policy formulators. But to execute it, you now have another set of actors. You have the DSS, you have the NIFIU, you have the ICPC, police, NSDC, all of them like that. In the execution, those are the people they're supposed to carry themselves along. But I think the CBN governor have seen it in a way that if he has explained it before these people, a lot of people will still truncate it. That is why I was expecting him to give a backup to the policy before the central government, that if this thing goes like this, this is additional, we are going to make a provision.
All right, let's round off now. Time is against us. I want you to give an advice to citizens, the federal government, INEC, and CBN in a minute.
as far as this election is concerned, I will appeal to the INEC. Please, the way we see that you are upright now, let us see you being upright at the end of the election, because there are two categories of people in election: those that we cast election and those that will count it. So the counting is more important. Then I will also appeal to the CBN. Please, whatever policy like yesterday, you told us that we should go to the commercial bank with the 1,500 naira. Later, you bring out another, you roll out another heading that no, it is the CBN. Please, whatever policy you want to formulate on this, let it be easy for the populace. And I want to appeal to the populace. Please exercise your franchise. Don't collect money. Don't let anybody induce you. Vote for the candidate of your choice and pray for Nigeria to be okay.
All right, we'd like to sincerely thank you for coming on the program. We do hope when next we call on you, we have a lot of presence.
Perfectly, sir.
And moving on to entertainment news, award-winning music producer DJ Spinall has revealed his highly anticipated album, Top Boy. Tantoluwa Agboyin has details of this and more from the world of entertainment.
Brings together stars from across the world for a project that explores continental sounds and captures his international status and ambitions. The album Top Boy to Spinall is different from the albums he previously released. He revealed that he produced and co-wrote a good amount of the album while also traveling to different parts of the world to collaborate with other creatives. This deal is beginning in 2023 with Faith Over Fear, a mantra that doubles as the title of his first full body of work. The 7-track EP carefully weaves Distill's signature style into Afro street pop essentials, delivering a wholesome selection with high enjoyment and replay value. Growing up under less than perfect circumstances taught Distill the art of not giving up. It is this message that he relentlessly tries to get across with this album. Tantoluwa Agboyin, NTA News.
Abdulafiz Alaya is standing by for sports update.
In the match scheduled for Cairo International Stadium, Jayid will be assisted by Tunisian Mohamed Bakir, Algerian Hamza Bouzid, and Ivorian Clement Pan. The match will kick off at 6 p.m. Nigerian time on Sunday, 3 hours after the tournament opening game between host Egypt and Mozambique at the same venue. Following his exceptional start to the 2023 indoor season, Nigerian sprinter Favour Ashe is aiming to become Nigeria's top sprinter in history to run a 6.4 seconds in the 60 meters. The time makes him the fastest 60 meter by Nigerian and African athletes this year and third on the NCAA top list. Meanwhile, Ghanaian footballer Christian Asu has been found dead under the building where he lived in southern Turkey. Following last week's massive earthquake, the ex-Chelsea winger's Turkish agents said on Saturday. Asu's lifeless body was found under the rubble, Murat Uzumer told reporters in Hatay. Abdulafiz Alaya, NTA News.
Sports Update concludes our package on Weekend Report. Good evening.
For more news and programs, you can visit our website on www.ntailorin.com.ng. Download the NTA ILORIN app from Google Play Store on your Android devices. You can also watch our news on NTA ILORIN YouTube channel.